we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yani Adebayo, Yani Ayana hits. This goes so hard even the opposite.
Trust, means taking no loss. We be the hottest on the scene. Gemstones from the dust. Big dog, see leash. Where's the love in the streets? Pour my heart on the beat. See that blood on my sheets. Yeah, when me ready, me hit it heavy. I zoom out the pride of my people already. Tell my sit Ellie, me I'm just sharing my journey. I'm thankful the people they hear me. Tribe of Joseph, I'm ahead of the bunch. P5, I was starving for months. A running cutscene, but on my pockets, me need my DNA. Baby for lunch, but we call me a star before BBC. Don't take a lot to get rid of me. Me and them know that the same. Me and them know that the same.
The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Now, these two teams, you might remember, met earlier in the year in Arlington with the Cowboys winning that ball game. So they're trying to win here in Philadelphia to capture the season series. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Now Prescott. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers weak.
Touchdown, Philadelphia. Breece Hall, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Eagles use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. He's got room past the 30, and he'll be out right at the 35. A gain there of 21 yards.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A give running left, McAllister, and taken down just shy of the 40. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down.
And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's going to have the first down and then some. And he's going to be taken out of bounds, but not before he gets this all the way down to the 10. A big play here for Dallas. 45 yards. So now following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. On second and 11 now. Prescott. And this throw will be intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
They'll start on the ground. Hall. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's second and 2. Hall again on second down. And he's able to take this one up to the 30. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first and 10, it's Hall. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. The Eagles come into this one looking for a 12th win on the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
From the gun on third down. Kendrick. James has got it. Complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 42. give up the middle. Saw the linebacker Damone Clark coming through with a stop. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And the slot man goes in motion left. Hall again on 2nd down. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eyes the crossing route and hits Watson. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. The tight end in motion right. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and 1st down.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. It's their quarterback. Scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Kendrick. And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Back to throw. Kendrick. And this one is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
So, from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A handoff. Bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now. Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead. Following the fumble recovery, Kendrick. This pass out wide to Hall. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they? Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing. It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too. On 1st down, Kendrick. And incomplete on the deep ball. We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Kendrick. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On fourth down, Kendrick. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse it. This is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball. And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And this offense on third down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Well, just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. That third down conversion good for 23. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again, Prescott. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 39-yard line.
Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 39.
A gain of 22 yards. 1st down for Dallas.
Throwing, Prescott. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Steps him, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Aaron Donald. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Cohen. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Prescott on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Bryan Edwards as the first half is winding down. And the Cowboys go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. McManus's point after is good. And that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. Straight ahead is Hall. 53 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Throwing on 1st down. Kendrick forced out to his left. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Final play of the half. Prescott. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Well, that's not one you see very often on Aaron Donald because we know he's not trying to do anything intentional, but that time, just a little too late for the officials' liking.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He's going to let it go again. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. A very interesting call. I know they're losing Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Back to throw. Kendrick. He finds Watson. It's gone. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
They get the USC man, Elijah Vera Tucker.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Off play action. Kendrick. He finds his man. Complete. That's James.
Down inside the 10.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Eagles have got it on cruise control.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up.
Now this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Slot man moves right. A first down throw for Prescott. to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Play action now. Prescott. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Partner, we read a great article this week arguing for him to be Defensive Player of the Year. Normally, sacks are the big thing that people point to, but what he's done in the secondary has been something special.
It has been because it's been an all-around game for him. Taking the ball away, rushing the quarterback, and sacking him himself. Doing it.
And my goodness, another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
They'll run with Hall. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Running right, here's Sanders. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it.
The run with Sanders, and the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line. Got a big lead, but go for it.
Yeah, and why not, right? Because they have the big lead. But don't you have to have a little bit of admiration for these guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've been shoved around this entire game, and they're making a nice goal line stand here. It would be fun to see them stop them on 4th down, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's like putting whipped cream on broccoli at this point.
So what you're saying is they're going to go for it on 4th down. They're going to get it, aren't they?
I would. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott from the left hash. Should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. So on the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender. Way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
Prescott to throw on 4th. Going down the middle, and it's complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 25. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10.
They'll throw again. Prescott.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Here's Prescott. And now here's another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how anytime you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Kendrick got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Looking to throw. Kendrick. And that is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Kendrick. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Eagles are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
On 1st and 10, Kendrick. And he will go down, a Cowboy sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Off the play fake, Kendrick. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tyree Gillespie. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced.
And it'll be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And got his man complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Quez Watkins, 27 yards. And the Eagles are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL, but I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Up the middle they go with McAllister. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. That's Gallup on the slant. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. He'll get it inside the 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point from McManus is good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Back to throw. Kendrick toward the pylon, caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Elliott now to add the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing.
And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. The slot man in motion right.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. On third down, they'll run him to Sanders. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Eagles, the win will be their 12th now on the campaign. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Dallas,
it will indeed be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 7-10.
And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved.
Only the real respect my honest, so watch how you come in if you're under me. I'm with it in Rex involved. I they texting calls, and run me that, making no sense at all. They bounce like a basketball, your boo never coming back. This go stupid, go dumb. Told that boy you gotta pay for some. I sit on no throne, you ain't taking none. You bragging on pants, I make for fun. I see no biggie, honestly I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. You mad while I'm getting busy. Country girl running your city. Attitude bad on Sadidi. He only 2 times from the he out like a light, call him Ricky. And honestly, it ain't no cap in it. These know ain't no cap in it. I like put a stack in it. I'm bout it, ain't stop it, cause it ain't no acting it. I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. Leaving my mark like a I see no biggie. I ain't keeping up with what you saying on the internet. I ain't keeping up with the news. But I get that daily paper. Stop playing me.